Today, we are talking about a place that many people have heard about but few truly understand, Green Haven Correctional Facility. When people hear the word prison, they often imagine cold walls, locked doors, and punishment. And yes, correctional facilities exist to protect society and hold individuals accountable for their actions. But behind those walls are also real human beings with stories, regrets, fears, and sometimes a deep desire to change. Green Haven Correctional Facility is known as one of the most recognized maximum security prisons in New York. It has housed individuals convicted of serious crimes, and its reputation is connected with discipline, security, and strict control. Yet, even in such a difficult environment, another story exists, the story of transformation. Every day inside correctional facilities, people wake up with the reality of their past decisions. Some carry guilt. Some carry anger. Some carry hopelessness. But others begin searching for a second chance. Education programs, counseling, vocational training, and spiritual guidance can become tools that help inmates rebuild their minds and character. A correctional facility should not only lock people away, it should also challenge them to become better than the person they once were. Society benefits when rehabilitation becomes real. A changed life can prevent future crimes, restore families, and inspire others to avoid destructive paths. We must also remember the correctional officers and staff who work in these facilities every day. Their job is not easy. They face pressure, danger, and emotional stress while maintaining order and safety. Their role is essential in creating a secure environment where rehabilitation can happen. The story of Green Haven Correctional Facility reminds us of an important truth. Choices have consequences. One bad decision can change an entire future, but it also reminds us that human beings are capable of reflection, growth, and redemption. Young people especially should learn from places like Green Haven. Stay away from violence, crime, drugs, and destructive influences. Protect your future before one mistake leads to years of regret. No matter where someone comes from, discipline, wisdom, education, and faith can help guide them toward a better path. A prison cell may confine the body, but it does not always have to imprison the mind forever. Let us build communities where fewer prisons are needed because more young people choose purpose over crime, education over violence, and hope over destruction. Green Haven Correctional Facility is one of the most recognized maximum security prisons in the state of New York. The institution represents more than just a prison building surrounded by walls and security systems. It reflects the larger reality of the criminal justice system and the serious consequences that can come from unlawful actions and destructive decisions. For many people, the name Green Haven immediately brings thoughts of strict security, long prison sentences, and individuals convicted of serious crimes. Its reputation has made it widely known across the United States as a place designed to house inmates who require a high level of supervision and control. The facility operates under firm rules, structured routines, and constant monitoring. Every movement inside the prison is carefully regulated to maintain order and safety. Daily life within the institution follows schedules that include meals, work assignments, recreation periods, educational opportunities, and security checks. These routines are designed to create discipline and reduce chaos in an environment where many individuals from different backgrounds and experiences live together under confinement. Green Haven Correctional Facility also symbolizes the reality that actions have consequences. Many of the individuals housed there once made choices that changed not only their own lives, but also the lives of victims, families, and communities. Some inmates entered the facility at a young age after becoming involved in violence, gangs, drugs, robbery, or other criminal activities. Others arrived carrying years of anger, trauma, or poor decisions that slowly led them down destructive paths. The prison stands as a reminder of how quickly life can change when people ignore wisdom, responsibility, and self-control. At the same time, Green Haven is not only a place of punishment. Within its walls are stories of reflection, regret, learning, and personal struggle. Some inmates spend years thinking about the mistakes they made and the opportunities they lost. The environment forces many individuals to confront reality in a way they may never have done before. Away from the distractions of the outside world, some begin to examine their choices, attitudes, and behavior more deeply. The facility includes programs that attempt to encourage growth and rehabilitation. Educational classes, vocational training, counseling services, and spiritual support are available to inmates who choose to participate. These programs are meant to help individuals develop discipline, skills, and a different perspective on life. While not everyone changes, there are cases where inmates use their time to earn education, improve their mindset, and prepare for a more productive future. Green Haven Correctional Facility also highlights the difficult work carried out by correctional officers and prison staff. Maintaining safety inside a maximum security prison requires patience, alertness, and strong leadership. Officers must manage tense situations, enforce rules, and ensure that the facility remains secure every day. Their responsibilities are demanding because they work in an environment where conflict and emotional pressure can occur at any moment. For society, Green Haven serves as both a warning and a lesson. It warns people about the dangers of crime and destructive behavior, while also raising important questions about justice, rehabilitation, and second chances. The existence of such institutions reminds communities of the importance of guiding young people toward education, positive influences, and responsible decision-making before their lives move in the wrong direction. Correctional facilities exist as an important part of the criminal justice system. Their primary purpose is to protect society by separating individuals who have committed crimes from the general public. These institutions are designed to maintain order, enforce laws, and ensure that people who violate legal boundaries are held accountable for their actions. Without correctional facilities, it would be difficult for society to manage dangerous offenders or maintain public safety in a structured and lawful way. One of the main purposes of a correctional facility is punishment. When an individual commits a crime, especially a serious offense, there must be consequences that reflect the seriousness of the act. Prison sentences are meant to demonstrate that unlawful behavior carries responsibility and accountability. The loss of freedom is one of the strongest consequences a person can face. Living inside a correctional institution means being separated from family, friends, personal comforts, and the freedom to make daily choices. Every aspect of life becomes controlled by rules, schedules, and security procedures. Another important purpose of correctional facilities is deterrence. Prisons are intended to discourage both inmates and the public from engaging in criminal activity. When people see the consequences faced by offenders, they may think twice before making destructive decisions. The strict environment, limited freedoms, and long-term impact of incarceration serve as warnings about the dangers of crime, violence, drug activity, theft, and other illegal behavior. For many young people, learning about life inside a correctional facility can become a powerful lesson about the importance of discipline and wise decision-making. Correctional facilities also focus on maintaining safety and order within society. Some individuals commit crimes that place communities at serious risk. In these situations, prisons are necessary to prevent further harm. Maximum security facilities, such as Green Haven Correctional Facility, are specifically designed to house offenders who may pose a higher security threat. Strict supervision, controlled movement, and advanced security measures help prevent violence, escapes, and dangerous activities inside and outside the institution. Beyond punishment and security, modern correctional facilities often aim to support rehabilitation. Rehabilitation means helping inmates change their behavior, thinking patterns, and lifestyle choices so they can eventually return to society as more responsible individuals. Many prisons provide educational opportunities, counseling programs, vocational training, anger management classes, and substance abuse treatment. These programs are based on the belief that some people are capable of change if they are given guidance, structure, and support. Education programs inside correctional facilities can play a major role in rehabilitation. Some inmates enter prison with limited education, poor literacy skills, or little work experience. Through classes and training programs, they may earn diplomas, learn trades, or develop skills that improve their future opportunities. Vocational programs may teach carpentry, maintenance, culinary arts, technology skills, or other practical trades that can help individuals find legal employment after release. Counseling and mental health services are also important within correctional institutions. Many inmates struggle with trauma, addiction, anger, depression, or emotional instability. In some cases, unresolved personal issues contributed to their criminal behavior. Counseling programs attempt to help inmates understand these issues, develop healthier coping strategies, and improve emotional control. Substance abuse treatment programs are especially important because many crimes are connected to drug and alcohol addiction. Correctional facilities also aim to encourage personal responsibility. Inmates are expected to follow rules, respect authority, and maintain discipline within the institution. Learning to function within a structured environment can help some individuals develop habits that were missing in their lives before incarceration. Responsibility, accountability, patience, and self-control become necessary for surviving prison life peacefully. Another purpose of correctional facilities is to create opportunities for reflection. Prison removes individuals from many outside distractions and forces them to confront the reality of their actions. For some inmates, this period becomes a time of regret and self-examination. They begin to think about the victims affected by their crimes, the pain caused to their families, and the opportunities they lost because of poor decisions. This reflection can sometimes become the first step toward personal transformation. Correctional institutions also play a role in balancing justice for victims and society. Victims of crime often seek reassurance that the legal system takes their suffering seriously. Imprisonment can provide a sense of accountability and demonstrate that society does not ignore harmful behavior. The justice system aims to create fairness by ensuring that actions have legal consequences while also protecting the rights of all individuals involved. The purpose of correctional facilities continues to evolve as societies debate the balance between punishment and rehabilitation. Some people believe prisons should focus mainly on strict discipline and consequences, while others emphasize education, treatment, and reform. In many modern systems, correctional facilities attempt to combine both approaches by maintaining security while also offering opportunities for change and improvement. Behind the locked gates, concrete walls, and heavy security systems of correctional facilities are thousands of human stories that many people never hear about or fully understand. To the outside world, inmates are often viewed only through the lens of their crimes, court cases, or prison sentences. Society may see them simply as offenders, criminals, or prisoners. However, inside institutions such as Green Haven Correctional Facility, every inmate carries a personal history filled with experiences, struggles, decisions, relationships, failures, and emotions that shape the path leading to incarceration. Many inmates come from difficult backgrounds marked by poverty, violence, broken homes, neglect, addiction, or trauma. Some grew up in neighborhoods where crime was common and positive opportunities were limited. Others experienced abuse, instability, or exposure to dangerous environments from a young age. While these circumstances do not excuse criminal behavior, they often help explain how certain individuals became trapped in cycles of anger, fear, hopelessness, or poor decision-making. For some inmates, prison is the result of years of destructive influences that slowly push them toward unlawful choices. There are also inmates who once had stable jobs, families, education, and normal lives before making decisions that changed everything. A single moment of violence, uncontrolled anger, greed, addiction, or reckless behavior can completely alter a person's future. Some individuals entered prison after making one terrible mistake that led to irreversible consequences. Others became involved in criminal activity gradually, believing they could escape the outcomes of their actions until they eventually faced arrest and conviction. Inside prison walls, inmates often carry emotional burdens that are invisible to others. Many struggle with guilt and regret over the pain they caused victims, families, children, and communities. Some replay their past mistakes repeatedly in their minds, wishing they had made different choices. The reality of prison forces individuals to confront the consequences of their behavior in ways they may never have experienced before. Isolation from loved ones, loss of freedom, and years spent behind bars create emotional pressure that can deeply affect a person's mental and emotional state. Family separation becomes one of the hardest parts of incarceration for many inmates. Parents miss birthdays, graduations, holidays, and important moments in their children's lives. Children grow up without the daily presence of mothers or fathers who are incarcerated. Spouses and relatives often experience emotional pain, financial hardship, and social embarrassment connected to a loved one's imprisonment. Some inmates lose contact with family members over time, creating feelings of loneliness and abandonment inside the prison environment. Life inside correctional facilities can also expose inmates to emotional struggles such as depression, anxiety, fear, and hopelessness. Some individuals enter prison carrying unresolved trauma or mental health challenges that worsen during incarceration. Others become overwhelmed by the harsh realities of prison life, including strict routines, limited privacy, tension among inmates, and uncertainty about the future. The emotional weight of serving long sentences can affect how inmates view themselves and their purpose in life. Despite these hardships, many inmates begin to reflect deeply on their lives while incarcerated. Prison often removes the distractions and fast pace of the outside world, leaving individuals alone with their thoughts for long periods of time. Some inmates begin to examine the decisions that led them to prison and recognize patterns of behavior that caused harm to themselves and others. Reflection can lead to remorse, personal growth, and a desire to become a different person. Within prison walls, there are stories of individuals trying to rebuild themselves through education, faith, counseling, or self-discipline. Some inmates earn diplomas, learn trades, read extensively, or participate in rehabilitation programs. Others dedicate themselves to spiritual growth, mentoring younger inmates, or improving their character. These efforts reflect the reality that human beings are capable of change, even within harsh environments. There are also stories of inmates supporting one another emotionally during difficult moments. Long prison sentences create environments where people experience grief, disappointment, and emotional pain together. Some inmates form friendships based on mutual respect, guidance, and encouragement. Older inmates may warn younger prisoners about repeating destructive behaviors, while others try to help fellow inmates avoid violence and conflict inside the institution. At the same time, prison life can be extremely challenging and dangerous. Tension, fear, gang influence, and conflicts may exist within correctional facilities. Inmates often live under constant stress, knowing that survival requires emotional control, awareness, and discipline. The prison environment can either harden individuals further or push them towards serious self-reflection and change, depending on the choices they make while incarcerated. The stories behind prison walls remind society that inmates are still human beings despite their crimes and mistakes. Many have experienced pain, failure, regret, and loss. Some continue down destructive paths, while others genuinely seek transformation and redemption. Understanding these human stories does not mean ignoring accountability or minimizing the harm caused by crime. Instead, it means recognizing the complexity of human behavior and the importance of addressing both justice and rehabilitation within correctional systems. Rehabilitation is one of the most important goals within modern correctional systems because it focuses on helping inmates change their behavior, mindset, and future direction. While prisons are designed to punish unlawful actions and protect society, rehabilitation seeks to reduce the chances that individuals will commit crimes again after their release. The idea behind rehabilitation is that incarceration should not only confine people for their past mistakes, but also provide opportunities for personal growth, education, and positive transformation. In correctional facilities such as Green Haven Correctional Facility, rehabilitation programs can become essential tools for helping inmates rebuild their lives. Many individuals entering prison lack education, job skills, emotional stability, or healthy decision-making habits. Some have struggled with addiction, violence, anger, trauma, or negative influences for years before incarceration. Rehabilitation programs attempt to address these underlying issues so inmates can develop healthier ways of thinking and living. Education plays a major role in rehabilitation. A large number of inmates enter correctional facilities without completing their formal education or without the skills necessary to succeed in legal employment. Educational programs inside prisons may include literacy classes, high school equivalency diplomas, college courses, and specialized training programs. These opportunities can help inmates improve their confidence, critical thinking, communication abilities, and future employment prospects. For many inmates, education becomes more than simply learning facts or earning certificates. It opens their minds to new possibilities and helps them develop a stronger sense of purpose. Reading books, studying history, learning mathematics, or developing writing skills can encourage inmates to think differently about themselves and their future. Education can also reduce idleness inside prison, keeping inmates engaged in productive activities instead of negative behavior. Vocational training is another important aspect of rehabilitation. Many correctional facilities offer practical job training in areas such as carpentry, plumbing, electrical work, maintenance, culinary arts, welding, computer skills, and manufacturing. These programs are designed to prepare inmates for employment opportunities after release. Stable employment is one of the strongest factors in reducing repeat criminal behavior because it provides financial stability, responsibility, and a sense of direction. Without job skills or legal opportunities, some former inmates may struggle to survive after leaving prison, increasing the risk of returning to crime. Vocational programs attempt to break this cycle by helping individuals gain practical abilities that can support independent and productive lives. Learning a trade also gives inmates a sense of accomplishment and discipline while they are still incarcerated. Counseling and therapy are equally important in rehabilitation efforts. Many inmates carry emotional wounds, unresolved trauma, anger, addiction issues, or mental health struggles that contributed to their criminal behavior. Some grew up in violent environments where unhealthy coping methods became normal. Others never learned emotional control, conflict resolution, or healthy communication skills. Counseling programs attempt to help inmates understand their emotions, past experiences, and patterns of behavior more clearly. Anger management classes teach inmates how to respond to conflict without violence or aggression. Substance abuse programs help individuals confront addictions to drugs or alcohol that may have influenced criminal actions. Mental health treatment provides support for depression, anxiety, trauma, and emotional instability. These services are critical because rehabilitation cannot succeed if deeper personal issues remain untreated. Spiritual and faith-based programs also play a powerful role for many inmates. Religion and spiritual guidance often provide hope, structure, forgiveness, and personal reflection within the prison environment. Some inmates discover a renewed sense of morality and responsibility through faith. Spiritual programs may encourage honesty, self-control, compassion, and accountability while helping individuals find meaning beyond their past mistakes. Rehabilitation is also important because it benefits society as a whole. When inmates successfully change their behavior and return to society as law-abiding citizens, communities become safer. Reduced repeat offenses mean fewer crimes, fewer victims, and lower financial costs related to policing, courts, and incarceration. Successful rehabilitation can help restore families, support communities, and give former inmates opportunities to contribute positively instead of returning to destructive lifestyles. Families are often deeply affected by rehabilitation outcomes. When incarcerated parents improve themselves through education, counseling, or vocational training, they may become better role models for their children. A reformed individual has the potential to rebuild damaged relationships, support family members, and inspire younger generations to avoid criminal behavior. In this way, rehabilitation can impact not only the inmate but also future generations. The prison environment itself can influence whether rehabilitation succeeds. Facilities that provide structured programs, educational access, counseling services, and positive mentorship often create better conditions for personal growth. Correctional officers, teachers, counselors, religious leaders, and program coordinators all contribute to the rehabilitation process. Their guidance, discipline, and support can encourage inmates to remain committed to change despite the challenges of prison life. At the same time, rehabilitation is not easy. Not every inmate chooses to participate in programs or make positive changes. Some individuals resist authority, remain involved in violence, or continue destructive behaviors even while incarcerated. True rehabilitation requires personal responsibility, honesty, effort, and a willingness to confront painful truths about one's actions and choices. Change cannot be forced on individuals who refuse to accept accountability. Long-term success after release also depends on opportunities outside prison. Former inmates often face difficulties finding employment, housing, and social acceptance due to their criminal records. Without support systems, many struggle to rebuild stable lives. This is why rehabilitation must involve not only prison programs but also community support, reentry services, and opportunities for reintegration into society. The importance of rehabilitation continues to be widely discussed in criminal justice systems around the world. Some people believe prisons should focus primarily on punishment, while others argue that lasting public safety depends on helping offenders transform their lives. Many modern correctional systems attempt to balance both goals by maintaining strict security while also investing in education, treatment, and personal development programs that encourage positive change. One of the most powerful ideas connected to correctional facilities is the possibility of second chances and redemption. Although prisons exist to punish criminal behavior and protect society, they also raise an important question: can a person truly change after making serious mistakes? For many inmates inside institutions such as Green Haven Correctional Facility, this question becomes deeply personal. Some individuals spend years reflecting on their actions, confronting guilt, and searching for a way to rebuild their lives despite the consequences of their past. Redemption is the process of recognizing wrongdoing, accepting responsibility, and striving to become a better person. It does not erase the harm caused by crime, nor does it remove accountability. Victims and families often carry pain that cannot simply disappear because an offender changes. However, redemption acknowledges that human beings are capable of growth, reflection, and transformation over time. It recognizes that a person's worst mistake does not always define the entirety of their character forever. Many inmates enter prison carrying anger, pride, denial, or hopelessness. In the early stages of incarceration, some refuse to accept responsibility for their actions or blame others for their circumstances. Over time, however, the prison environment can force individuals to confront reality more honestly. Long periods of reflection, separation from loved ones, and the daily consequences of incarceration often lead inmates to think deeply about the choices that brought them to prison. Some begin to realize the damage they caused not only to victims but also to their own families, children, and futures. For certain inmates, this realization becomes the beginning of personal transformation. They start seeking ways to improve themselves through education, counseling, faith, discipline, or positive mentorship. A person who once lived recklessly may begin studying seriously, learning job skills, or helping others avoid similar mistakes. Some inmates become mentors to younger prisoners, warning them about the dangers of gangs, violence, addiction, and criminal behavior. Others dedicate themselves to personal growth, attempting to leave behind the mindset that once controlled their lives. Second chances are important because many people in prison entered criminal lifestyles while they were young, immature, emotionally unstable, or influenced by destructive environments. Some grew up surrounded by violence, poverty, abuse, or negative role models. Others made impulsive decisions without fully understanding the long-term consequences. While these factors do not excuse criminal acts, they help explain how certain individuals lost direction in life. Redemption offers the belief that people can learn from failure and choose a different path if they are willing to change. Education often becomes one of the strongest symbols of redemption inside correctional facilities. Inmates who once ignored school or lacked opportunities may earn diplomas, complete college courses, or develop professional skills while incarcerated. Learning can transform how individuals see themselves and their future. A person who once believed they had no value may begin to recognize their potential through achievement and self-improvement. Education can restore confidence and create hope where hopelessness once existed. Faith and spirituality also play a major role in many redemption stories. Some inmates experience deep spiritual awakenings during incarceration. Religious teachings about forgiveness, responsibility, humility, and transformation can encourage inmates to examine their lives honestly. Through prayer, worship, or spiritual counseling, individuals may begin seeking peace, moral guidance, and inner change. For many, faith becomes a source of strength that helps them endure prison life while motivating them to pursue a more meaningful future. Redemption also involves rebuilding relationships that were damaged by criminal behavior. Many inmates deeply regret the pain they caused their parents, spouses, children, and communities. Some spend years trying to reconnect with family members through letters, phone calls, or personal growth. Children of incarcerated parents often suffer emotional pain and confusion, making family restoration an important part of rehabilitation. When inmates sincerely change their behavior, they may slowly regain trust and become more responsible family members. Society's willingness to allow second chances can strongly influence whether redemption succeeds. Former inmates often face enormous obstacles after release, including difficulty finding employment, housing, and acceptance due to their criminal records. Even individuals who genuinely change may struggle because many people refuse to trust them again. Without opportunities, support systems, or legal employment, some former inmates become discouraged and vulnerable to returning to crime. This is why reintegration programs, job opportunities, counseling, and community support are important for successful rehabilitation. At the same time, second chances do not mean ignoring accountability or minimizing serious crimes. Redemption requires honesty, responsibility, and consistent effort. True change is demonstrated through actions, not simply words. Society expects individuals seeking redemption to show discipline, respect for the law, emotional maturity, and commitment to positive living over time. Trust is often rebuilt slowly, especially after serious offenses. There are many examples of inmates who transformed their lives while incarcerated. Some become writers, educators, counselors, or advocates against violence and crime. Others dedicate themselves to helping troubled youth avoid the mistakes they once made. Former inmates who achieve redemption sometimes use their experiences to inspire others, proving that transformation is possible even after years of failure or imprisonment. The idea of second chances also reflects an important truth about humanity. People are capable of both wrongdoing and change. Human beings can fall into destructive behavior, but they can also learn, grow, and develop wisdom through hardship and reflection. Correctional facilities often become places where this struggle between past mistakes and future possibilities unfolds every day. The idea of second chances also reflects an important truth about humanity. People are capable of both wrongdoing and change. Human beings can fall into destructive behavior, but they can also learn, grow, and develop wisdom through hardship and reflection. Correctional facilities often become places where this struggle between past mistakes and future possibilities unfolds every day. Redemption is rarely simple or immediate. It is usually a long process filled with setbacks, emotional pain, self-examination, and difficult choices. Inmates seeking change must often confront shame, regret, and the consequences of their past actions while working to build a different identity. This process requires patience, discipline, humility, and determination. Some succeed in rebuilding their lives, while others continue struggling with the habits and influences that once controlled them. The concept of second chances challenges society to consider not only punishment, but also the potential for transformation. While accountability remains essential, many believe that justice systems should also create opportunities for personal growth and rehabilitation. When individuals genuinely change and contribute positively after incarceration, their stories demonstrate that redemption can exist even in places associated with punishment and regret. The role of correctional officers and prison staff inside correctional facilities is one of the most demanding and challenging responsibilities within the criminal justice system. In institutions such as Green Haven Correctional Facility, correctional officers work every day in highly controlled environments where safety, discipline, and order must constantly be maintained. Their responsibilities extend far beyond simply guarding inmates behind locked doors. They are responsible for managing security, preventing violence, enforcing rules, responding to emergencies, and helping maintain the overall operation of the facility. Correctional officers serve as the front line of prison security. They monitor inmate behavior, supervise movement throughout the facility, conduct inspections, and ensure that rules are followed at all times. Every aspect of prison life operates according to strict schedules and regulations, including meals, recreation, work assignments, educational programs, medical visits, and inmate transfers. Officers must remain alert and attentive because even small conflicts or violations can quickly escalate into dangerous situations inside a correctional environment. Maintaining order within a maximum security prison requires constant awareness and strong decision-making skills. Officers often work in environments where tensions can rise unexpectedly due to overcrowding, personal conflicts, gang activity, emotional stress, or frustration among inmates. They must be prepared to respond calmly and professionally during arguments, fights, medical emergencies, disturbances, or security threats. Their ability to act quickly and maintain control can prevent situations from becoming more dangerous for both inmates and staff members. The daily work of correctional officers can involve significant physical and emotional pressure. Unlike many other professions, prison staff spend long hours in environments where potential danger is always present. Officers may face threats, verbal abuse, intimidation, or violent behavior while performing their duties. The responsibility of supervising individuals convicted of serious crimes creates a level of stress that can affect mental and emotional well-being over time. Correctional officers must also enforce discipline fairly and consistently. Rules inside correctional facilities exist to maintain safety and structure. If regulations are ignored or applied unfairly, disorder and conflict can spread quickly within the prison population. Officers are expected to maintain professionalism while balancing firmness with respect. They must treat inmates according to institutional policies and legal standards, regardless of personal opinions or emotions. In addition to security duties, correctional officers often play an important role in inmate rehabilitation and behavior management. Because officers interact with inmates daily, they frequently observe changes in behavior, emotional struggles, or signs of conflict before others do. Experienced officers may recognize when an inmate is dealing with depression, anger, fear, or frustration. In some situations, officers can help reduce tensions through communication and conflict management before violence occurs. Many correctional staff members contribute indirectly to rehabilitation by encouraging discipline, responsibility, and positive behavior among inmates. Maintaining structure and accountability helps create an environment where educational programs, counseling, vocational training, and rehabilitation efforts can function effectively. Without security and order, it would be difficult for inmates to participate safely in programs aimed at personal improvement. The prison system also relies on many other staff members beyond correctional officers. Counselors, teachers, medical professionals, psychologists, chaplains, vocational instructors, and administrative workers all contribute to the daily operation of correctional facilities. Each role is important in supporting both institutional stability and inmate welfare. Counselors and psychologists provide mental health support, emotional guidance, and rehabilitation services for inmates struggling with trauma, addiction, depression, anger, or behavioral problems. Many inmates enter prison carrying unresolved emotional issues that can affect their behavior and rehabilitation process. Mental health professionals attempt to help inmates manage these struggles while reducing risks of violence, self-harm, or emotional breakdowns. Teachers and educational staff play a major role in helping inmates improve academically and professionally. Educational programs provide opportunities for inmates to earn diplomas, develop literacy skills, or pursue vocational training. One of the strongest lessons connected to correctional facilities is the reality that bad choices can lead to life-changing consequences. Every prison inmate has a story that began with decisions, actions, and behaviors that eventually brought them into conflict with the law. In institutions such as Green Haven Correctional Facility, many individuals spend years reflecting on the moments, influences, and choices that changed the direction of their lives forever. The prison environment stands as a powerful reminder that actions have consequences, and even one poor decision can create lasting damage. Many people do not begin life intending to become criminals or prisoners. Often, destructive behavior develops gradually through small choices that seem harmless at first. Associating with negative influences, ignoring discipline, experimenting with drugs, engaging in violence, or becoming involved with gangs can slowly push individuals toward dangerous lifestyles. Over time, repeated poor decisions can create patterns of behavior that become difficult to escape. Young people are especially vulnerable to making impulsive choices because of peer pressure, emotional immaturity, anger, frustration, or the desire for acceptance. Some individuals commit crimes while trying to impress friends, gain respect, earn quick money, or fit into certain social groups. Others act recklessly, without fully understanding the long-term consequences of their actions. A moment of uncontrolled anger, violence, or illegal activity can result in arrests, injuries, criminal records, or years of imprisonment. Drug abuse is one of the major factors connected to destructive decision-making and criminal behavior. Many inmates became involved in crime because of addiction to drugs or alcohol. Substance abuse can impair judgment, increase aggression, weaken self-control, and push individuals toward theft, violence, or illegal activity in order to support addiction. Some people lose jobs, families, education opportunities, and personal stability because they allowed addiction to control their lives. Correctional facilities contain many individuals who regret the choices they made while under the influence of substances or while trapped in addiction. Gang involvement also contributes to poor life choices for many inmates. Some young people join gangs seeking protection, belonging, identity, or financial gain. However, gang culture often promotes violence, illegal activity, revenge, and conflict. Individuals who become deeply involved in gangs may eventually face arrests, injuries, or lengthy prison sentences. What begins as a search for acceptance or survival can quickly evolve into dangerous criminal behavior with severe consequences. Violence and uncontrolled anger are other common factors that lead individuals into correctional facilities. Some inmates committed crimes during moments of rage, jealousy, revenge, or emotional instability. Failing to control emotions can destroy lives within seconds. Physical fights, assaults, domestic violence incidents, or violent confrontations often begin with temporary emotions but result in permanent consequences such as imprisonment, injury, or loss of life. Financial greed and the desire for quick success also lead some individuals toward criminal behavior. Theft, robbery, fraud, drug trafficking, and other illegal activities may appear attractive to people seeking money without hard work or patience. However, illegal success is often temporary and dangerous. Many inmates eventually realize that chasing fast money costs them their freedom, reputation, and future opportunities. The temporary rewards of criminal behavior rarely compare to the long-term damage caused by incarceration. The consequences of bad choices affect far more than the individual committing the crime. Families often suffer deeply when a loved one is incarcerated. Parents experience emotional pain, children grow up without guidance, and relationships become strained or broken. Financial hardship may increase when a family member is imprisoned, especially if that individual once provided financial support. The emotional impact of incarceration can create stress, shame, loneliness, and instability for entire families. Victims and communities are also deeply affected by criminal behavior. Crimes involving violence, theft, fraud, or drugs create fear, trauma, and emotional suffering for victims and neighborhoods. Communities damaged by crime may struggle with insecurity, distrust, and social instability. Correctional facilities exist partly because society must protect innocent people from harmful behavior and maintain public safety. A criminal record can continue affecting individuals long after prison sentences end. Former inmates often face difficulties finding employment, housing, education opportunities, and social acceptance. Many employers hesitate to hire individuals with criminal backgrounds, making reintegration into society more difficult. The consequences of bad decisions can therefore follow a person for years, limiting opportunities and creating ongoing struggles even after release from prison. Inside prison, inmates experience the daily consequences of lost freedom. Every aspect of life becomes controlled by schedules, security rules, and institutional restrictions. Inmates lose the ability to make ordinary choices that free individuals often take for granted. Separation from family, limited privacy, emotional stress, and long periods of confinement create harsh realities that many inmates never fully imagined before incarceration. For some inmates, prison becomes a place of regret and painful reflection. Many spend years thinking about how different their lives could have been if they had made wiser decisions. Some realize they ignored advice from parents, teachers, mentors, or friends who tried to guide them away from destructive paths. Others regret moments of anger, selfishness, or recklessness that permanently changed their futures. At the same time, correctional facilities also demonstrate the importance of personal responsibility. Every person faces choices in life, and those choices shape future outcomes. While difficult backgrounds, negative environments, and social pressures can influence behavior, individuals are still responsible for the decisions they make. Recognizing personal accountability is often one of the first steps toward rehabilitation and positive change. The consequences of bad choices also highlight the importance of prevention and guidance. Communities, schools, families, and mentors play important roles in helping young people develop discipline, emotional control, respect for the law, and positive values. Early education about crime, addiction, violence, and decision-making can help prevent destructive behavior before it leads to incarceration. Positive influences can make a major difference in a person's future. Supportive families, strong role models, educational opportunities, sports, faith communities, counseling, and mentorship programs can guide individuals away from harmful lifestyles. Many inmates later realize that they lacked structure, guidance, or support during critical moments in their lives. This understanding often motivates them to encourage younger generations to avoid repeating the same mistakes. The reality of correctional facilities sends a clear message about the seriousness of life choices. Every decision carries consequences, whether positive or negative. Wise decisions can lead to opportunity, stability, education, and success, while reckless decisions can result in pain, loss, regret, and imprisonment. The stories found inside prison walls reveal how quickly lives can change when people ignore discipline, responsibility, and self-control. The existence of correctional facilities raises an important question about the kind of society people want to build in the future. While prisons are necessary for maintaining law, order, and public safety, most communities hope to create a world where fewer people choose crime and fewer lives are destroyed by violence, addiction, and destructive behavior. The idea of hope for a better society focuses on prevention, education, opportunity, rehabilitation, and positive community development. It reflects the belief that stronger families, better guidance, and greater support systems can help reduce crime and create safer communities for future generations. Correctional facilities such as Green Haven Correctional Facility demonstrate the serious consequences of criminal behavior, but they also reveal deeper social issues that often contribute to crime. Poverty, lack of education, broken homes, substance abuse, unemployment, violence, trauma, and negative environments can influence individuals toward destructive paths. A better society seeks not only to punish crime after it happens, but also to address the conditions that increase the likelihood of criminal behavior in the first place. Education is one of the strongest foundations for building a safer and more successful society. When children and young adults have access to quality education, they gain knowledge, critical thinking skills, discipline, and opportunities for personal growth. Schools do more than teach academic subjects. They help shape character, responsibility, and future goals. Education can open doors to careers, financial stability, and productive citizenship, reducing the attraction of criminal lifestyles. Young people who lack educational support or positive direction may become more vulnerable to gangs, drugs, violence, or illegal activity. Communities that invest in schools, teachers, mentorship programs, and youth development create environments where young people are encouraged to dream beyond crime and destructive behavior. A better society recognizes that preventing crime often begins long before a person enters the criminal justice system. Strong families also play a major role in creating healthier communities. Children who grow up with guidance, emotional support, discipline, and positive role models are often better prepared to make wise decisions. Parents, guardians, and caregivers influence how young people handle conflict, responsibility, respect, and emotional challenges. Families that provide love, structure, and encouragement can help protect children from harmful influences and dangerous environments. However, many individuals involved in crime come from unstable backgrounds marked by neglect, abuse, addiction, violence, or absence of support. This reality highlights the importance of community involvement in supporting vulnerable families and young people. Mentors, coaches, teachers, counselors, faith leaders, and community organizations can provide guidance and encouragement to individuals who may not receive strong support at home. A hopeful society also invests in mental health services and emotional well-being. Many people involved in criminal behavior struggle with trauma, depression, anger, addiction, or unresolved emotional pain. Without proper support, these issues can contribute to violence, substance abuse, and destructive decision-making. Accessible counseling, therapy, rehabilitation programs, and mental health education can help individuals manage emotional challenges before they escalate into harmful behavior. Substance abuse prevention and treatment are equally important in building safer communities. Drugs and alcohol contribute to many crimes, including theft, violence, domestic abuse, and trafficking. Addiction can destroy families, careers, and personal stability while increasing criminal activity within communities. A better society works to provide education about addiction, treatment programs for those struggling with substance abuse, and support systems that encourage recovery instead of continued destruction. Economic opportunity also influences crime rates and community stability. Individuals who lack employment opportunities, financial security, or hope for advancement may become vulnerable to illegal activities as a means of survival or quick financial gain. Job training programs, fair employment opportunities, vocational education, and economic development can reduce desperation and create pathways toward legal and productive success. Communities with strong social support systems often experience lower levels of violence and crime. Safe neighborhoods, recreational programs, youth activities, sports organizations, libraries, cultural centers, and mentorship initiatives provide positive alternatives for young people. These environments encourage teamwork, discipline, leadership, and social connection while helping individuals avoid dangerous influences. Hope for a better society also includes fair and balanced justice systems. While accountability for crime remains essential, many believe that justice systems should provide opportunities for rehabilitation and personal growth. Rehabilitation programs inside correctional facilities can help inmates gain education, emotional support, vocational skills, and guidance that improve their chances of successful reintegration into society. When former inmates successfully rebuild their lives, communities benefit through reduced crime, restored families, and positive contributions from individuals who once followed destructive paths. The reintegration of former inmates is another important part of creating a better society. Individuals leaving prison often face major obstacles, including difficulty finding employment, housing, and acceptance due to criminal records. Without support, some former inmates struggle to rebuild stable lives and may return to crime out of frustration or desperation. Reentry programs, job placement assistance, counseling, and community support can help reduce repeat offenses and encourage successful transitions back into society. Faith communities, nonprofit organizations, and local leaders often play powerful roles in promoting hope and positive change. Religious institutions, volunteer groups, mentorship programs, and social organizations provide emotional support, guidance, resources, and opportunities for individuals and families facing hardship. These groups help strengthen communities by encouraging compassion, accountability, responsibility, and service to others. Technology and social media also influence modern society in significant ways. While technology can provide education, communication, and opportunities, it can also expose young people to harmful influences, violence, illegal activity, or destructive lifestyles. A better society teaches responsible use of technology while encouraging critical thinking, digital responsibility, and healthy social values. The idea of hope for a better society ultimately centers on the belief that positive change is possible. Communities can reduce crime by investing in education, prevention, rehabilitation, mental health support, economic opportunity, and family stability. Individuals can overcome difficult backgrounds, avoid destructive influences, and choose productive paths when given guidance and opportunity. Correctional facilities remind society of the serious consequences of crime, but they also reveal the importance of creating environments where fewer people feel driven toward violence, addiction, or illegal behavior. A stronger society is built not only through punishment after crimes occur, but also through efforts to guide people toward wisdom, discipline, responsibility, and hope before destructive decisions are made. The vision of a better society includes safer neighborhoods, stronger families, improved educational systems, reduced violence, greater compassion, and more opportunities for individuals to succeed through legal and meaningful paths. It is a society where communities work together to support growth, accountability, healing, and positive change, while helping future generations avoid the mistakes that lead so many lives toward regret and incarceration.